Okay.
Okay. So hopefully my camera doesn't freeze. Anyway, like I said, this is not going to be the most technical series you're going to watch, but welcome to episode 2 of the Proudly Canadian Discover Canada series. I'm Tim Lee Cash, and I came up with this concept in this series because I really felt passionate about learning more about Canadians worldwide. And in particular, I wanted to speak to Canadians that offer a product or a service to the Canadian public, because I believe that we got to help support small business. So on my second episode here, I have Danielle Dubrule, and she was kind enough to be my a guest on my second episode. So we're going to learn a little bit more about her and her background, and just like episode 1, which you can go back and watch as well. Just learn more about how COVID might have affected her, and how us Canadians can help. So thank you for being on the episode, Danielle. I really appreciate it. So why don't you tell the Proudly Canadian audience more about yourself?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I truly appreciate this opportunity. I am a mother, a wife. I have a job outside of this other kind of creative stuff I do at home. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I work with other alcoholics and addicts, and a lot of people in the mental health realm of things, and a homeless shelter, and the list kind of goes on. I'm also proud owner of my dog Ella. I just love that little beast.
We've chatted already, and the one thing that I can already tell just from the short time chatting with you is you have a real big heart, and it's because of the things that you've already shared with me, which you'll share with the audience here. But your passion to help people is so admirable, and I just find that so uplifting to talk to somebody that just wants to help people. And I think that's a really great quality in you, just from talking to you briefly about what you do for a living, and just overall, it really warms my heart that you sincerely care about people and want to help people. So I mean, where in Canada are you? Where are you located, and where have you grown up?
I'm actually currently located in the lower mainland of BC, Canada, in Mission. I work in Maple Ridge, and I'm actually quite far ways away from home, from Prince George, BC, the center of the province there. And I had originally moved down here to sober up, so to speak. And it just, one thing led to another, with great opportunities to be able to help other people. So I've just kind of stuck around down here and have really found purpose and meaning to my life.
That's great. So have you lived anywhere else in Canada, or traveled anywhere else in Canada at all?
Unfortunately for me, I've only traveled between BC and Alberta. I've been all over both provinces. I've got family from east to west, south to north, in within those two provinces. And I've moved a lot. So I've lived in a few different cities, but just within those two provinces.
Okay. Is there anywhere, like I always ask the Proudly Canadian audience, where in Canada, or what province they would like to visit, or what city? Is there something on your bucket list somewhere in Canada that you would want to visit?
Well, I've always wanted to travel across Canada, and I think it might have to wait a little bit for me right now, just because I'm so busy, but I might be able to vicariously live through my daughter in the next year, because she plans on doing that after she graduates next year.
Okay, cool. So she's planning on moving somewhere else in Canada, or?
She just wants to, her and a couple of friends are going to grab a van and travel across Canada for a year.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
great.
like, I totally supported her on that. I'm like, you know what? I wish I would have followed those kind of dreams I had when I was that age.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And only Canada? She has an expressed interest of going like usually people backpack around Europe and things like that, but she just wants to do Canada.
As of right now, yes,
Yeah,
that can
cool.
change, but as of right now, they definitely have their heart set on the good old homeland right
That's
now.
great. Yeah, no, lots of places to explore. I'm originally from Edmonton and I live in Fredericton now, but I've traveled coast to coast. I've been fortunate enough to visit Victoria all the way to Newfoundland to Yellowknife. So I've seen the country, front to back, and there's a lot. I still have, even being in New Brunswick, there's still things that I haven't seen or explored or seen yet that people tell me about, but I just haven't either made the time or just haven't had the time, just busy to go take a look. But there's so much to explore. Just, yeah, you're right, and within Canada. So just getting into that. So is your, I guess, your livelihood, your passions, like what are some of the things that really motivate you to, just for your day-to-day, any hobbies, any, what fuels your day basically?
Well, I do have my 9 to 5 job where I'm working at a homeless shelter right now. And um, one of the things that in working there in a treatment center before that, that really came to mind a lot was um, how much how much our health system is really failing on the mental health aspect of sides. Having mental health issues myself, such as depression, anxiety, a few other things, I can testify that there's a lot lacking there. And what I really wanted to do, I kept thinking what I said yesterday was, they need to fix that. They need to do something. And I realized I am they.
Yeah.
I can
And I love
give,
that. When you said
right?
that yesterday, I was like, yes, that's right.
Yes, I am they. They're
Yeah.
like, there's nothing outside of that. What can I do to help
Yeah.
now and today? And so I created a program. I've got a few other things on the go as well.
Yeah.
But that one's really my heart set right now. And I
Yeah.
just want to be able to share it with everybody.
Yeah. And I mentioned to you that since 2017, I kind of came at a crossroads in my life where I either, do what I was doing and just, live a destructive life, or turn the other way and suck it up and man up and be, a better husband, better father, and just better person, a human being. And so I can completely relate with that. And it takes a lot of work. And like I was mentioning to you, that if you try to do it on your own without support, it's hard, especially if your surroundings really influence what your behavior is. It's really hard to get mentally out of that. I've been fortunate to be surrounded by loved ones, my family, my wife and kids support me. I've seen what the changes in myself, what it's done for my wife and kids. So the fact that you're helping and supporting people in those positions is just godsend. Really, it's just like you're an angel. Really, you know what I mean? So the fact that you do that. So how does that transition into what maybe you do for not only your 9 to 5, but outside of that, what you're building? I know you have a website and you're building a community to help. I think it was other women. I think it is.
Yes, I'm primarily focused on busy moms because that's my story. I'm a busy mom, and that's who I know how to help right now. And I'm hoping in the future that can expand because like my husband, he's a CBT therapist, and so I'm hoping to get him involved on the website. He's already said yes. We're just seeing what that looks like.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest impact that it's had in my life personally is, well, for one, I practice what I preach. So am I completely mentally stable all the time, so to speak? No, I have my off days, and I just keep working on the things that I'm trying to teach others to live the best life. And secondly, my daughters, my oldest in particular suffers from depression and anxiety like I do, and some of those few other disorders. And I'm able to freely talk to her about it instead of, her feeling like she's all alone, she has no one to talk to. I just share all that I go through, and instead of hiding it all the time anymore. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not trying to put on this front anymore to
Right.
anybody. And I think that's really helped her opened up, and I'm able to then teach her some of the coping and management skills that I need to use in my daily life too.
Yeah, and that's so important to lead by example. And like I was saying to you, with this series that I'm doing, I'm not, there isn't, it's not a flashy thing. It's just me one on one with other people. Is it the most flashy thing you're going to see on Facebook or YouTube or listen to? No, but I mean, my heart's in the right place. I just want to, for someone like yourself, just to share with Canada more about what you do. So, and I'm not shy to tell people that. And I feel that it just feels like a weight's lifted off your shoulder when you can be honest with people instead of putting up this front. Like if I sat on here and I pretended I was a professional and I've been doing this for years and things that people are like, wow, doesn't look like someone that's been doing it for years. I'm just telling you that it's probably be not very organized. It's just a conversation. So it's easier to lead by example like that because it makes it easier for like you or I just to be vulnerable for people and just say, look, we're doing it. So you know what I mean? So it speaks volumes that you're able to do that for your daughter and for yourself and your community too, right? Um, so for COVID wise, how did that affect you? I mean, it's affected, all of the world and Canadians particular, and just you yourself. How has COVID affected you in the last um, 2020 and into 2021?
Yeah, at first it drove my anxiety sky high, watching the news, the daily updates, the numbers that they were doing. And my anxiety really got really bad for a few months there. And then I kind of shook my head and asked myself, what are you doing? And so I stopped watching the news. I generally don't watch the news at all because I feel that it does set off my anxiety, right? So I just
Mhm.
don't watch the news, and I started watching it, and yeah. So I stopped watching it, but then I started watching it affect everybody around me, and um especially my more social friends that, they need that contact with other people. And everybody kept asking me, well, how are you doing? How are you managing? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm an introvert at right. So
Yeah,
I feel comfortable being by myself now. Or well, I got used to being comfortable by
right.
myself, so it's not so hard. But I saw a lot of people struggle with that, and I'm like, well, how can I help? And a lot of it's Zoom calls and stuff. It's not the same as being in person,
Mhm.
but we got to use what we can, right? And I think Zoom has opened us up to be more available to the broader communities out there.
Mhm.
So I just really stepped into that and was able to really create this program and work on that, and just really help some of my close friends, especially while they were struggling through this, because I just wasn't struggling the way everybody else was.
Mhm.
And it's just through self-care practices and best mental health practices that I practice each and every day.
Yeah. So anyone watching this that might, be struggling with their mental focus or struggling mentally, is that something they can reach out to you for? Again, I'll put your contact details around this video or wherever I post this, but is that something that you can help people out with?
I definitely think I can help a lot of people with that. And if I find that I'm not the specific person that can help you in particular, I will lead you to other resources that are best suited for you, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely invite everybody to take a look at the program, and if they think that it would be worth for them, go ahead and sign up. I did go ahead and preemptively put in a, what is it called, a coupon code. So if you put in proudly Canadian, you will get the program at half off.
Oh,
It'll be a
wow.
special just for uh, you and your viewers.
That's
And
great.
yeah, I thought I'd throw something special in there, really make it worth everybody's time, right? So
Yeah, because yeah, struggling, struggling mentally is, this past, COVID and everything has been hard on a lot of people mentally, whether they admit it or not. It's changed the way we interact with each other, the way we communicate with each other. Like I said, with this Zoom world, it's opened up for us to do something like this and be able to share our stories with people. So, things have changed a little bit. So if people are struggling in those areas with all the change, they certainly can lean on you as a good resource. So I guess, for this audience here, is there anything in particular that they could do to support you, like whether it be recommend you maybe to friends and family, that type of thing? Is there?
Yeah, definitely. If you feel like this program would work for anybody else, definitely throw out the recommendations, share this video. And also, I do have a Facebook group that will be in the links. It's totally free, and it's mamas supporting each other. We'll have that in the links for everybody. And I think just give it an honest look and just be really honest with yourself. And is this something that you need? And are you struggling mentally, and do you not want to tell other people that? That's okay, but look at it for yourself and really make a decision based on what you really need.
No, it's great. Well, thank you for being on the second episode of the Discover Canada series. So I really appreciate having you on and sharing with the audience in Canada a little bit more about you and what you're doing for people. I think it's so admirable. Like I said before, it's not like a broken record, but it's very admirable that you help people in that way. So I'm doing kind of what I can, because I feel I'm strong at, in a digital fashion. So that's why I've put this together, but you're more boots on the ground and dealing people with one-on-one. So that's fantastic. So thank you for being on this second episode. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And if you have, a business or a product or service that you offer in Canada, you're certainly welcome to reach out to me personally. I'll have the links in the description of this video. I'd love to have you on an episode so we can continue to, create more episodes for the Proudly Canadian Discover Canada series, and just help Canadians one by one. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next one.